Yeah, but
well, you're popping my TikTok cherry.
yes, this is you're the second or the third TikTok cherry that I have popped. I'm going on well. I'm a real stud muffin.
You are. You are. I've been just watching TikTok videos and stuff. But
Nice.
I was one of those who were holding out.
I wonder why.
How things would settle with TikTok, but I'm an Instagram baby.
I know.
But I'm happy to be on TikTok tonight with you. And
All
with your
right.
listeners and viewers.
I am happy to have you. You're also being streamed on YouTube simultaneously. Let me show them your pretty face. So, comrades, I would like you to welcome Comrade Nekeisha Burchell, who is the Deputy Gensec of Communications in the PNP, as well as the spokesperson on information, the opposition spokesperson on information. That is her behind me. I really wanted to get her up in the box so that you could see her, because most people, Nikki, I will heap of them don't know what you look like,
Oh my.
Yeah, so we have to change that. We have to get you more into the limelight, but okay, they're saying you only have 60 followers. Well, don't worry. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that.
How many followers do I need?
I'm not sure. These people are more. These people know better than me, You hearing me?
Well,
okay.
The next time you invite me on, I'll have enough followers.
Definitely, because we have to work on that. Let me know all you need, at least 300. Don't worry. By tomorrow, we will get her to the 300 followers, people.
Yes.
Yes. By tomorrow, we'll get you there. All right, Comrade Gensec. Now, a lot has been happening in the spotlight since yesterday. Well, let us go back. I want as the information spokesperson, I want you to just give the listeners and viewers a synopsis of everything that has happened in the last few days to get us to the point where Daryl Vaz has breached the data privacy of the comrade leader, Mark Golding.
Well, I think if we start over the last few days, we'll be a little late in the game.
Right.
Because what we're seeing playing out now began a few years ago, but really took on new levels of interest around February of this year when we had the local government election. Local government election came. A certain party believed they had the supreme right to dominate the local government election and that they were the heirs to this forever throne they had erected for themselves because they had been able to bamboozle the country and overstayed their time in the local government courts. Mm-hmm. They felt that they would dominate again in February of this year. That wasn't the case, and that has caused the party to really go unhinged. That, coupled with the fact that a few weeks later, a poll was done by Don Anderson and Marketing Research Services Limited, which showed that the People's National Party had not only maintained its hold on the impressions with the public, the perceptions, we had now surpassed the JLP by 8 points in the poll in terms of voting intention as expressed by the persons polled. Those two factors in and of themselves would be enough for a sane party to go crazy. But when you put that with a Jamaica Labour Party, then that's a recipe for meltdown. And so we're in meltdown phase for the Jamaica Labour Party, and they can't contain it. So that meltdown, they're hoping to spill over into the public sphere, and of course, we're their direct target, the People's National Party, and particularly our party leader, who has proven to them what we already knew, that he is the contender of contenders, and that he is in the final stretch to becoming the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. And so, naturally, they would train their arrows at him, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Okay. So, basically, no, we're at the point where they have decided to go for the jugular or attempt to go for the jugular with the comrade leader because we've seen where he's moved from a space of being only having a 12% likability to now being literally within 3% of Andrew wholeness. So we are really seeing now that they are going at statistical dead heat, right?
Which means they're neck and neck.
Right. So they have now decided to jump on this citizenship bandwagon.
Yeah. So at first, when it started with the usual suspects, the Daryl Vaz through his tweeter, the person who tweets on his behalf,
right,
and Juliet Cuthbert, the usual suspects, those who are not busy enough managing the portfolios they've been assigned. It started with them, and we expected that, but it took on new meaning when the Prime Minister, who's been MIA from the media and from public scrutiny, suddenly popped up on CBM at Sunrise. I can't tell the last time the Prime Minister has availed himself to so be accessible by the public, let alone CBM at Sunrise. And that took on new meaning. It really signaled to us that the Prime Minister was now in a stage where he was being led by the tail. The dog is being wagged by the tail being Daryl Vaz in this case, and his people who are pushing the Prime Minister to take on a nonsense case in the public sphere. It's an embarrassing exercise, and one that a Daryl Vaz could get away with because we expect him to dabble in foolishness. But for the Prime Minister of the country to take on this futile case and to so proudly carry it on CBM's stage, we as a country, we are really at a new low.
Somebody is saying to me now that are you still on the TikTok? You still, or you came out? Somebody was saying you're using the phone. Okay. Or because somebody asked to see if you can join the live.
I promise I will come back another night.
Okay, they say I should add you. All right, let's just continue the conversation with this method. But I am not surprised though, Comrade Deputy Gensek, because let me tell you, I saw images of Mrs. Holness cooking on CVM at Sunrise the week before. And I saw her singing at another event the day, probably a few days before that. So I realized, I've been saying on my live for weeks on end that Andrew Holness is, and as somebody who studied marketing, you would know, Andrew Holness is a dead product. And the hardest thing to do is to resuscitate a dead product. So all they're trying to do is resuscitate him, but it is not going to help. You understand? So this is why I am not surprised that they've literally fired Nestor and they are now trying new things to get Andrew Holness relevant again. You understand?
Yes. It's funny that you mentioned that the Prime Minister's wife was on CPM 1 week cooking and another week singing.
Right.
That has given new meaning to singing for your supper. That's quite interesting.
Literally,
now singing for their supper, and it's a matter of them eating humble pie, and so early in this general election cycle. What else can the Jamaican public expect from them? How low will they go? Will Andrew start dancing? Well, sorry, he's been doing that.
He's doing that, exactly.
They've been trying everything because they realize that they're on a runaway train. They can't catch it back, and it's called Mark Holding.
That is it. But, we have seen where Daryl Vaz now, through his desperation, I know you heard the interview yesterday on Beyond the Headlines.
Yeah, I did.
Sounding completely unhinged, almost like a crazy person.
Yeah. And I think the host found it very difficult to contain her reactions because it was borderline ludicrous, for a minister to accept an interview like that and then come on the interview totally unprepared because he didn't realize the nonsense until perhaps he was hearing it coming out of his mouth.
I don't think he realized the nonsense up to now, to be honest.
I think he does. Anyone, I'm sure someone has said it to him. But Mr. Vaz is known for carrying a line even to oblivion. He will deny anything that is thrown at him for many years, and we know that. So he will continue a line forever if needs be.
Well,
Mr. Vaz came on and tried to accuse the host of bringing up his past and his personal experience.
I heard that.
He was the one who laid it on the table for discussion. He was the one who compared the fact that he had to give up his U.S. citizenship in order to serve. Yet today he tweeted that he wasn't forced. He voluntarily offered his citizenship to the United States. And no, it's moved now from the ridiculous to the sublime because he's attempting right in front of us to rewrite history. And maybe they could get away with it before social media existed or before we were able to archive stories. But no, he's trying to rewrite something that happened in 1997.
No, it was 2007 actually. But it's
2007.
but it's as you say, it is sublime, or as Derek will say so real, so real. By the way, Derek and a few others were out protesting today, about 10 of them. Did you see that?
Derek was hiding. I'm not sure if it was him because that person was...
The person duck.
They're following suit. Everybody's out to sing for their supper. But quite a lot of them didn't get the script. Some were accusing Mark Golding of putting them under duress or, not giving them justice. They want justice from Mark Golding. They're suffering. Yeah. She said they're suffering.
They're suffering. Mark Golding suffering them.
Obviously, Mr. Prime Minister, they need to take that up with because he is in charge of the government. So their suffering is not Mark's doing. It certainly should be laid at the head of their leader,
Yeah, so Mr. Vaz now went ahead and exposed what should be private information about the comrade leader's acquisition of his passport, his visa history, a lot of things that nobody should know apart from him himself and perhaps the staff at PICA, who would be duty bound to hold this information in safekeeping.
And beyond duty, they would be legally bound. Back in 2012 to 2016, I was advisor to the Minister of National Security.
Right.
And PICA falls under that ministry. And so I had to do a lot of work with the men and women who worked at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency. And let me tell you, in that time, I can speak to the tremendous work they did and the high level of professionalism. Not that Mr. Bunting would have ever contemplated asking anything that is bounded by confidentiality and privacy laws of the persons who worked at PICA. But I know that even if he was drunk one night and made that request, no one in their right mind at the time would have offered this kind of information to anyone. But it's beyond duty, as I said, because they sign legal documents of confidentiality when they accept these jobs in these very sensitive posts. But it's quite unfortunate that just on the heels of passing the Data Protection Act,
exactly,
that we're having this kind of conversation. And again, on the heels of the rollout of NIDS, I don't know about you, Kamla, but a lot of Jamaicans should be very worried tonight.
I have made up my mind that based on me, let me know TikTok if you're hearing me. YouTube is gone because we just had a series of low voltage. I think that probably yeah, okay, I'm back. Okay, I am back now. The rain is coming down here, and we had a series of lightning, and it leak out something because YouTube gone. All right, so we'll continue because I can always upload the interview to YouTube after. So sad.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Right.
Right, so we're about to roll out NIDS, and it's concerning because when you think about something like your private health records,
Yeah.
Your interactions with state agencies, let's say the Jamaica Constabulary Force, you were charged for something in the past. When you think about your tax history and information about your tax compliance or non-compliance, whatever it is, if this kind of information can be accessed all willy-nilly by the likes of Darabas, how secure should Jamaicans feel tonight? And then we're operating with people, we're working with people with low integrity.
No integrity.
No integrity. He will, as he has done, try to shroud it in mystery. And try to accuse persons of passing this information to him when it's really just silly. The kind of information Darrell Vaz shared yesterday on Beyond the Headlines and what he shared with the public when Shane Alexis in 2017 applied to be candidate in Southeast St. Mary is not information that anyone in the PNP would just have access to.
Exactly.
I've traveled a million times with different persons, and I can't tell you what age they were when they applied for their passport.
Tara is saying, and on Nationwide as well, because apparently he also went on Nationwide and did the same.
Okay, well, that's not surprising, but we are concerned. We've expressed that to the new Minister of Information, Dr.
Dana Marie.
And we haven't yet had a response from her. We're told that she speaks tomorrow and that we may hear something from her at the press conference. Maybe she will bring some form of decency and dignity to the office. And I have high expectations of Dr. Morris Dixon. I know her from a previous life, and I expect that if she remains untainted, she could perhaps do something better for Jamaica.
Indeed. So what is the next step for the PNP in terms of actions against Mr. Vaz? Because I know that you want to hear from Dr. Dixon, but this is a serious issue, and I believe that Darrell Vaz needs to be made an example of. So what will be the next step?
I don't think there's much that can really deter Darrell Vaz. But the party, we are internally assessing and we are preparing for our next steps. And we will keep you informed where that is concerned. We don't want to frighten nobody. When it happens, they will know it and the public will know it. So we don't want to pre-warn anybody about our next moves where this is concerned, but be assured
Fair
that
enough.
it will end here.
Excellent. No, you brought up a very, very important point about NIDS, because ironically we had Comrade Julian Robinson on about 3 weeks ago, and he spoke about NIDS. As you will recall, it was Comrade Robinson who took the government to court about the NIDS bill and the invasiveness of the bill that they were trying to have passed. And it's so ironic because Dr. Dixon is the one who has been in charge of NIDS even before she assumed the information portfolio, because I think she's also their minister on digital transformation, So what I want to know now is, well, you brought it up before, who would trust NIDS? Because from what I understand, because of the court ruling, it's no longer mandatory,
Yes.
So who would now trust if NIDS, since it's not mandatory, who would trust it?
Well, Kamala, you can expect to see a huge public relation campaign around NIDS in the coming months. You can expect to see them using coercion tactics to get people on board. You'll soon see people start getting $10,000 here or there to give the information. And just like we did around the AstraZeneca around COVID,
around the pandemic, management.
Yeah, you see persons of note going online, queuing up and showing that they got their NIDS ID and that they feel safe and they don't feel at risk, and so on. So the public will have an opportunity to assess for themselves, because thanks to the PNP, they don't have to take it, because the PNP has ensured that it's no longer mandatory. But the public will have an opportunity to look for themselves and see if this is something that they can trust. And how Dr. Morris responds in the next couple of days will go a far way in either convincing people to take NIDS or convincing more people to stay away from it.
Definitely. And I'm glad you bring up their need to, well, as you said, they probably will do exactly that, a big PR blitz, because they're very good at that. But, I want to bring us back now to this constitutional reform. And we know that in Parliament today it was tabled, and we've seen where the government has the committee, I should say, has rejected most of the comrade leader's recommendation. What I would love to know now is, what will the PNP do now? What's the next step for us in terms of educating Jamaicans? Because, well, I know you were watching the live, but the King's Council today, for instance, sent a letter to the Privy Council. I don't know if you heard us talking about the merit rule. So it is clear that Jamaicans will need more sensitization. My question is, will the PNP embark on some sort of sensitization campaign aside from what the government plans to do? Because really and truly, personally, I don't have any trust in what they plan to do.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, Kamala, the PNP, we've said from day one, it started from the Vale Royal talks, the first Vale Royal talk we had on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
We committed to the public that we are willing to sit at the table with the government to work through clause by clause to get the constitution that generations to come will be proud of and can sit and live in a Jamaica that they feel represents them, their ideals and their aspirations. So we've sat at that table. We've nominated Senator Donna Scott Motley, expert lawyer, along with MP Anthony Hilton, expert lawyer, to sit with the committee, which, as it turns out, is largely government represented.
Exactly.
And come up with a constitution that we can be proud of. The party leader also nominated Hugh Small, not as a representative of the PNP, but as someone a Jamaican he thought could add value to a committee when he looked at the composition that was proposed by the government. He found it was lacking. The government accepted, and Hugh Small is there in his own right. So we committed to that process. We committed to sit by them, to work through the rules, and we're here where we are tonight. Where are we? Where they have not fully accepted the positions that have been put on the table through negotiations having come from the People's National Party. Know that they have not been committed to that process of a negotiated outcome. The PNP has no alternative but to go to the people directly. We were observing the process, but now we will be ensuring that the people are the partners that we are going to be going to the next constitution with. So the people can expect to hear from us in very short order in terms of the series of activities that we're going to be rolling out, to giving them the audience they need to hear their issues, say their views, give us their input as to how their constitution should be redesigned. Your People's National Party will make that platform available to you.
Beautiful, because I'm very happy to hear that, because the most complaints I'm hearing from the masses, from the general public, is that this whole thing has been shrouded in secrecy, and they're asking, what is the opposition doing, since the government is determined to meddle with the constitution in secret behind closed doors, almost making Andrew like a dictator, because you see, we've seen where they have committed to increasing the Senate by to 27, which will basically give them latitude to have a 2/3 majority in Senate too.
Madness.
Right. So how can we counter all of this? How can we get Jamaicans to understand that this is not in our best interest?
We're going to be pushing the content out there. The problem the problem for the public is, how do they sift through the noise of distractions like what we're experiencing right now
That
to
is
find
it.
facts? Mark Golden took, in the one night they gave him a peep at the draft report from the Constitutional Review Committee, Mark Golden worked that document and made some incredible suggestions that could improve the document. Right. And the government, I don't know if it's shame or what, they've refused them, even
they rejected them.
Common sense, practical suggestions. This is just like the impeachment bill that Mark Golding penned. Brilliant lawyer like Mark Golding, at your disposal, penned this document about impeachment and delivered it to the government, and you haven't heard anything about it. What is surprising to me really is that they didn't even try to create an image, that yes, they're trying to be bipartisan in this big project of a constitutional reform. They are literally saying, they're going their own, and they're flipping and flopping and adjusting and contorting until they're shapeless, because they have no spine. They have no spine, and right now we don't know what we have left as a government. That's the truth.
What I would love to know though is, why the rush? Because to my understanding, there's a certain timeline. Do you believe that they're trying to get these this whole thing amended, the laws passed before the next general election?
I think they are in search of something that can give them an edge for the next election. Maybe in their wisdom, they see this as a potential clincher for them to somehow hang their hat on. I don't know if that is really a logical way to look at it, because the history of these referendums around constitutional reform have not been very positive for the governing parties. If they do their research, they realize that it doesn't necessarily favor them. But I think a desperate man will clutch at straws, and that's what we're witnessing right now. They're clutching at straws, and something that may just very well sink them.
Indeed. All right, I want to switch gears now. You are also the PNP MP candidate for South St. James, right? Correct?
Yes.
All right, so I see you're doing phenomenal work down there, by the way.
Oh Lord, that's a lot of work.
Yes,
I love it.
but guess what? You're obviously very effective, because we've seen that the MP, what's his name again? I've seen him face, but I can't remember his name. He has been pulled back, and he's been removed from his deputy GenSec post for the JLP.
Yeah.
And what name? Homer Davis. That's her name, Homer Davis.
Well, that's the name he was given by his parents. The constituents have another name for it that I can't repeat. You know how Jamaicans, how we pronounce people's names, you know,
Yes,
so they have
I can
another
only
pronunciation of
imagine.
his name. But Homer Davis is his name. And yes, the Prime Minister, in one fell swoop, removed both persons I was shadowing as
Yes.
Deputy Secretary. He removed Homer Davis as a Deputy Secretary, and me being the opposite at the time to Lester, he
Right.
also directed him. So in one fell swoop,
Two are your opponents. That mean you're packing quite a punch.
Well, I don't know. I would never claim that kind of victory. But the truth is, if you're not performing as a Deputy General Secretary, then Prime Minister must take stock. Prime Minister must take stock and decide, you know, how best to reshuffle his deck for maximum impact. And for me, it's a demotion. I'm still a Deputy General Secretary and a candidate, and Homer Davis has been relieved of his Deputy General Secretary role. That does not inspire confidence. If the Prime Minister is demoting you, I don't know if that's a good signal to send to potential voters in South St. James. But since then, he's been quite busy on the ground. Quite busy on the ground. I was at a funeral, a grave digging in Oko, because a community in my constituency of South St. James. And we were there and the rain come down and the men outside were talking and they're like, it's the first we ever see this man in our community, much more in a rain turn up. You know, so it's like election must be coming. So the Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. And the people that really seeing through it, they realize that this increased activity is because fire there must still.
Think a cool breeze. So, but just for the record, this constituency is the constituency of your birth, right?
Yes. So my family is from Garland, which is in South St. James, near Moko. And both sides of my family are like founding members of the community of Garland. The Burchells on my father's side and the Muirheads on my mother's side. And
Muirhead is a well-known and respected name in that area.
Yes. In fact, it was my relatives, the Muirheads, that gave the land for Glenmuir High School in Clarendon. That's why it's called Glenmuir. Muir is from Muirhead, which is my family and stuff. So, yes, that's our history, and the community has given a lot to us. My family on both sides, they're involved in farming, transportation. My father is a pastor in the community.
That always cracks me up.
Yeah. So they've given a lot to the community, and the community has given a lot to us. And it only makes sense for one of the Muirhead or Burchell generation to give back to the community in the best way we can. And a lot has fallen on me.
Indeed. So what has the reception been like on the ground? How is the ground going?
Kamla, I think I'm having more fun than
I see
the
that.
constituents are. Week before last, Education Week is still etched in my mind. I was in the constituency for the entire week, and I visited maybe some 12 schools. And my constituency, I must tell you, it takes up more than half of St. James, the parish, geographically.
That's the biggest constituency in St. James.
In St. James, and one of the biggest ones in Western Jamaica. And vast landscape. You have to drive for miles between communities to get to your next destination. We have to go through St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, in order to access our parts of our constituency. And it's vast. And the people are naturally farmers. That's what we do. This is the birthplace of Sam Sharp. He was born in Tolocastle, in Croydon, in St. James South. And that was where the Christmas Rebellion started, on a plantation in Tolocastle in Kensington, just miles from where I am from. So we're revolutionaries, we're fighters, and we are the people.
So it's a far the man walk to go down to to Sam Sharp
Yeah.
Square? Wow.
So far and walk, go down the hill, they started to light plantations on their way from Kensington all the way down to Montego Bay. You know, we light fires in South St. James, and a fire is being lit in South St. James. The children in the school I was telling you about, they call me Nekeisha. I don't know if because they take me on my side. But
we're short, you know, so maybe. She's only 5'2".
Nekeisha, and I just love it. I mean, the kind of connections that I'm building with them is what I hoped that I would have achieved if I were to take up something like this. Because growing up in Garlands, I didn't see many opportunities for me.
Right.
I did not see, other than maybe the apex of my aspiration would have been maybe become a teacher, a noble profession, of course. But that was the highest point of our dreams, you know, because the average person in the community was a homemaker, you know, the farmer or the higgler in the market. That's what we do, and we're proud to do that.
Right.
But I read a lot as a child. I read a lot. I mean, I didn't do a lot of housework. I was one of what mommy would say, lazy, you know.
Lazy,
and
always in bed reading like myself.
Always hiding in the bathroom and reading, you know, and reading opened a world for me that was beyond the Garlands, that was beyond St. James, that was beyond Jamaica. And that kind of, those dreams have taken me where I'm at today. And it's not very far, I mean, I reach nowhere yet. But I still think I'm far enough to help another Nekeisha in Garlands or in Kensington or Catadupa to reach for their highest, most impossible dream. And when I see the excitement from the children, it makes me feel that maybe, just maybe, we're getting there slowly. Indeed. We're getting there.
Excellent. So Labor Day coming up now. You have big plans.
Oh gee, Labor Day. This is my second Labor Day.
Yes.
I mean, it's just under a year, just over a year now since I entered it. But we have a number of projects across the constituency in all 4 divisions. As you know, we went into the last local government election with no representative from the PNP in the parliamentary council in the municipal corporation from South St. James, and we came out winning 3 of 4.
Really?
Yeah, we won 3.
You flipped the seat.
Totally flipped. You know, and so we've been putting in quite a bit of work, and I have to take my hats off to the candidates, the councillors, Councillor Martin Keller from the Welcome Hall Division and his team, Councillor Kenroy Gordon from the Catadupa Division and his team, Councillor Anthony Swaby from the Maroon Division and his team, and of course, Babunano's comrade Reddington McIntyre from the Anchovy Division, who did not make it but came within 80 votes.
Wow, so you nearly got all 4.
Division. Yeah, we nearly got all 4, and we could have. But we'll get them the second time around. So that has given us a little bit more wiggle room to get into the divisions. So this Labor Day, all 4 of them will be undertaking projects in collaboration. Of course, I'll be collaborating with them across the 4 divisions. We have some major projects, and if I start listing them now, I'm going to miss some. But from Horseguard, where we're going to be paving a road, we're going to be working on the clinic in Garland. We're going to be working in Kensington on the water storage system. We're going to be doing a lot in Mafuta, in Anchovy, in Catadupa. We're going to be seeing across South St. James this Thursday doing good in the community.
You know what shocks me, Nekeisha? The fact that you flipped Maroon Town.
Oh, right. Right. It's funny. Somebody reminded me today. A bishop called me today. I don't know him, but he called me and he was saying that before the local government election, he recalls hearing Minister Chang on the radio saying, and Homer Davis saying that, you know, they're not worried at all about the seats in South St. James. They expect that they will be taking the other one, you know. So he was reminding me of the interview that they did. They really and truly underestimated us the same way they're underestimating Mark Golding, right?
Indeed.
And we were able to work with the people, revive the PNP base, attract the aspirations and the attention of the uncommitted and the young people in South St. James, and we're building from strength to strength. So we expect that we will be doing good things for the community. And listen, I'm not talking all the secrets, but it's coming together.
It's coming together. Jermaine has been on both TikTok and on YouTube. I saw your comment on YouTube to Jermaine asking if your father is a Baptist pastor.
Oh no, but I think this is my history too. My heritage is linked with Burchell Baptist Church.
Okay.
Church in St. James. That's our history. That's where the Burchell lineage.
I guess that's why Jermaine is asking. He's been asking me a couple times. Well, I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation. I meant to ask it in a Jermaine, but I was looking for the perfect time. All right, no.
Thank you for asking. But Baptist is really where we started. And my father branched out into Pentecostal. He's a Pentecostal, one God, apostolic minister who preached the blood.
Oh, wow.
And, baptize people in the name of Jesus and speak in tongues. And,
all right, interesting. I'd love to meet him.
Yeah.
All right. So, how is the water situation in your constituency?
Not good. It's an age-old problem, again, because of the terrain in the constituency, but it's something that the JLP campaigned on 8 years ago that they would solve in South St. James, because we're not short in South St. James of water sources.
Sundari says to tell you she's back, just saying.
Hi, Sonny. I love the girl. So it's something that we're not short on water sources. And in fact, about 2 weeks ago, Councillor Martin Kelly and I paid a courtesy call on the National Water Commission in Montego Bay. We met with the leadership at all levels, the engineers, the procurement officers, the regional manager, everybody in a meeting, and we pointed them to the sources and the solutions that we've been thinking through that can bring water to the people, and they've given us some commitments that we're going to hold them accountable to.
Excellent.
But the larger point is that the JLP campaigned that they would have brought water to South St. James within 100 days of winning office, and that was 8 years ago, over the life of the Jamaica Labour Party government, and they have failed miserably in even capitalizing on some of the projects that were left in train by Derek Kelly. So water is a big problem for us, but thank God we're a part of the green part and the dense part of the country, so we do get some rainfall, and we're encouraging where we can persons to harvest water. It's a shame that in 2024 that's what we're still saying, but that's where we are. We have some plans, and we're going to be holding the NWC and the Member of Parliament to those.
Indeed. It's so funny when I hear you say they also promise the people water in 100 days. They seem to like this 100 days promise. Because going back to national issues, we can remember the Prime Minister making quite a bit of promises of some of the things that he'd accomplished in 100 days. You remember them?
Yeah. There's a science to it. A research, I can't recall right now, but there's a research that says anything that's not accomplished within the first 100 days of an administration will not, or at least that
it's not important.
That doesn't begin within the first 100 days will not happen, because I guess it kind of speaks to what is really a priority. And if you can't at least start a project within the first 90 days, then we shouldn't really hold out a lot of expectations for it. I think Andrew has read that. The GLP has read that, and so they feel they should use it because it's sexy, but they haven't been able to stick to their words.
Yeah, Tara just listing out some of the stuff on the live, and one of the things that stick out to me is the impeachment bill that he promised to bring within the 100 days.
Yeah.
And now
Mark
it's
drafted
totally
it
left
for him.
out.
Mark drafted it for him. Mark did the work for him, so he could have, checked that off his to-do list. But his pride won't allow him to accept the help from this learned lawyer.
Yeah, this man seems to like to cut off his nose to spite his face.
That's a difficult task. I think he'll need help to cut off.
Stop it. Last night I made a comment that as the years go by and the more lies him tell, is the bigger the nose seem to swell. Because we were looking at a picture of him in 2011 when he called for dual citizens to be allowed in Parliament. That's the statement he made. And he looked like almost a totally different person.
Right. Contortion. He's trying. I don't know. I think the worst thing in a man and in a leader is spinelessness. What the lady said, jellyback man.
Jellyback. Mm-hmm.
Jellyback man. Have something. Have some moral compass that guides you. Whether it is something, sometimes you go do something, you say, boy, what my mother would think if she hear this. What would God say? I don't know who Andrew has or what he has as his moral compass to say, I can't stray too far from this, or have some ideals, something. He will go any which way the wind blows him. And particularly if the wind is from someone who has money, or has some external, international power behind them. Andrew is swayed by, it's like them gal.
Clout, yeah. As Tara says, clout. So just letting you know that Verna says she lives in South St. James and you and your team are doing an excellent job.
Oh, Verna, thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. But you're so right about Andrew, because what we're seeing with Andrew Holness is that he is an opportunist. He's a political opportunist. He's a populist. So he basically goes wherever the wind goes. Look at his stance on Palestine, for instance. Look where he started and where he ended up.
Yeah, except he seems to need a wind vane because I don't know. He hasn't been reading the wind correctly the last couple of years. He's been going against public opinion by and large, and has to be really constrained to find himself go in the direction that the country is compelling him to go.
Yes.
So he's lost his ability to sense the wind, and that when a leader loses that, the battle is over.
It is.
The battle is over.
It has been over for him, and we started seeing the signs that it was over when he decided to have Kamina Johnson Smith run against Baron Scotland.
Wow. Yeah, so Andrew is showing again that he's not a regionalist.
Right.
He does not believe in the institution of CARICOM. He does not believe in, strength in numbers. We're small island developing states. They call us southern states.
Right.
And if we don't band together, we have shared issues, whether it is climate, geopolitical issues, or economic and health issues, that we should be able to find some commonality, some common ground on which we can band together and fight the bigger powers. Andrew is the person who is going to, you remember the West Indies Federation?
Yes, I do.
And the famous statement, 10 minus 1 from 10 equals 0,
What's the number 2?
Yeah, if you take away any one of us from amongst us, we are defeated.
Exactly.
And Andrew is forever going out there against CARICOM. I don't know if he just feels particularly threatened by Mia Motley, that giant of a woman.
Exactly.
He seems threatened by her, and so he's not willing to conform to CARICOM ideals and CARICOM wishes and goals and objectives. And it really is a shame, because Jamaica has long been at the forefront of leadership in the Caribbean. We've always had a prime minister who's been the head of CARICOM, be it PJ Patterson, or leading CARICOM. Michael Manley was a leading figure in the Caribbean. So we're not used to having Jamaican leaders being persons who sit outside of a president's kitchen.
Not
In a little
not only
chair,
that,
waiting and
the entire carry come pack up in a plane and gone to Saudi Arabia and leave Angela to find him way.
shame.
A shame. And I
It's a
mean, it
shame.
was so embarrassing because when he had to transit the USA, he had to go through TSA. You remember that?
It's awful. It's embarrassing.
So I know. I mean, what I'm wondering though is with his appointment to the queen. Well, it would have been the queen at the time, the Queen's Privy Council. Was that his pay? Was that payment for him to stand with the imperialists rather than stand with the members of his own region?
I have no clue. I really don't know what the thinking was, but if that was the reward he most wanted, I think he's quite cheap.
Very cheap. Did you see the wording of the? It's so interesting, you know, Nekeisha, that he's so adamant about comrade leader Mark Golding. He's a citizen of Britain, and it means that he is not committed to the people of Jamaica. But did you see the wording of the oath he had to take?
Oh my! I think Andrew. Maybe I don't know because no sane person who or patriot of their country. No, given the times we're living in.
Mm-hmm.
Post 2020 and the Black Lives Matter movement and this whole awakening of Black consciousness and coming into our own and this pride. I mean, for Andrew to act within a climate of like this, so charged with patriotism, so charged with this sense of smugness, as Professor Nettleforth would say, no sane leader would allow themselves to twist their tongues to say words such as those that were put before him for him to get 2 letters behind his name. But we've also seen that Andrew has a fixation on letters behind his name because it's the same. We're getting reports that he's holding Yui at ransom.
Yes.
Because they refused to give him an honorary doctorate. So he loves letters, but he doesn't want to spend the time to study for them.
Exactly.
To study for them. He wants them to be given to him because of what I don't know.
He feels entitled to it. It's so ironic that you brought that up because in his failure to compel you to give him those letters, he actually went to the University of Delaware, but he seemed to have made some sort of a deal with them because we're now seeing where the University of Delaware is offering continuing education courses to police officers, postgraduate training. Have you seen that?
Yeah, so we're yet to see if there will be any contracts, because usually courses like those are part sponsored by government and so on. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Tara says doctorate on sale. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Doctor knows. I don't know if he thinks that another doctorate, we'll have to call him doctor.
I think he was of that impression. I think he doesn't even realize the protocol behind an honorary doctorate.
Yeah, the honorary doctor.
Boy, it is sad. Well, it is now after 9. I want to keep you until 9:30, so I am going to ask for those people who want to come and ask questions, come up in the box. Ask your questions while we have Comrade Burchell. I know that you'll also be on Dre Brand's show tomorrow.
Yes, I've been trying to get on Dre Brand for a couple of weeks.
Oh, where you are say? There you go. Well?
Yes.
All right.
He's invited me on, but I've been trying to ensure that South St. James is firm and strong and that the communication arm of the party is robust. So he understood it, but I'll see him tomorrow.
Okay, excellent. So those of you who want to have a quick chat with Comrade Burchell, the box is now open. So, all right, Vicky is coming in.
Is that my Vicky?
Yes, it is. It is your Vicky. Your Vicky is on now. Vicky, what's
Hi,
up?
Nikki.
Hi, Vicky.
Nikki and Vicky, you're so cute.
Listen, I am on my break and I'm sitting here eating. I'm like, I'm going to walk one over TikTok and look. I just come over TikTok and just to see my favorite girl. I just want to tell you that I'm so proud of you. Me and Celine is so super proud of you. And we just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, right? And we love you.
Thank you, Vicky. Let me tell you, Vicky has one of the most beautiful daughters.
I know her. No,
And
from
Vicky
Share
is one of
Picnic.
those mothers. Vicky
Go
is one
ahead.
of those mothers I'm so proud of.
And
Your
and and
mother,
and
who
and I
is
have to
kind.
say, a lot of people don't know this, but I have to say, I am where I am today because of you guys. Nikki, me love you so till. Me love you so till, but we're not gonna tell them a secret.
Oh
But
my
other
God,
That's
people,
love you, Vicky.
beautiful.
other,
Love you, Vicky.
other people
Vicky
wanna
is
come
so
up and
kind.
say hello. I know, baby. Other people wanna come up and say hello, and ask questions. Me not really have nothing to say more than I love you and just keep doing a good job and keep making us proud, okay?
Oh, love you, Vicky. Mwah.
Oh, thanks, Vix.
All
We'll
right, Tama,
talk.
later. Yeah, man.
All
Respect.
right. Yeah, all
Oh,
right.
love
Let
you.
me see. All right, Chomi. Thank you. Thank you for the gift, Sassy and Tara. All right, Chomi is coming into the box now. Go ahead, Chomi.
Hi Nikki, what's up?
Hi, Johnny.
That's
How are
Junior
you?
Chong. Go ahead,
Hello, you
Chomi.
hearing me? Hello?
Yeah, man, go ahead, Chomi. She's hearing you.
Eh, I just want to big you up. I just want to big you up for the work, tremendous work you're doing down there. You know, when you're chatting one day on the phone, but I just want to say it to the public. The work you're doing down there is very, very great work. And keep it up.
Thank you, Junior. My prayers are always with you and your family. Thank you for the support and the love. And to see you fighting the
Yeah.
PNP fight in social. Thank you so much.
All right, take care of yourself. And bless up yourself, comrade. All right.
All right, Chomi, take care.
All right.
All right. All right, we have Miss. All right, I'm trying to pronounce your name now. Let me see if I can pronounce this person name when they come into the box properly. The name look complicated. Miss Tin. Please to pronounce your name, person, because I can't pronounce your name. Go ahead. Hello, Miss Tin. Miss Tech. Is that how you pronounce your name? You're up.
Oh, yes.
I saw the name pronounced.
Hello.
Mystic Intech.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You're live.
Hi, Mr. Intech.
For real, you know, a long time I follow up this nice lady, I'm telling you the truth. Me just feel the kind of love the TNT always have. You know me, I say, whenever time me listen people like them kind of people, like, it give me some real feeling. So I just that want to tell us if we just continue the work what she do at St. James there. But I love if somebody like she could have just come across and learn Clarendon and bring the vibes there.
Oh, that's nice.
Serious. I love the vibes. Because PNP need it run us right now. As much as we're strong and at our time, I know still. Yeah, me just want to say that still. Give thanks to the
Thank you,
night.
Mystic.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and
it.
a mystic in tech, in technology, yeah.
Mystic Intech. All right, boy.
Yeah.
I them dark
Yeah, man, bless up on
sometime.
yourself.
Big up yourself, you know.
Mystic Intech. Energy can't lie, and energy can transmit even through social media. I feel the love, and I'm pushing back the love because love makes everything nicer. Thank you,
Definitely.
Mystic.
Thank you, Mystic.
Yeah.
All
Give
right.
thanks.
All right. Sir Hugh Richards. Him soon come on. Go ahead, Hugh. Good night.
Hey, good night, Nikki. Good night.
You go.
Hey, what's up? You know my style. I'm an aggressive person. I only hope allow Darvas to prove who in the PMP give him the message. Because most Mrs. Colin give them advice. Them all them information there. So make him tell us which part of Mrs. Colin meet to give him the information there. We not ease up on the one. And when I make him go take and side through it and believe and can side through it. You know? Because for them business feel say only way they can beat the PNP with this united. And they believe say we are gonna start point finger, you make a sad mistake.
New dispensation. This is not 2020.
Everyone serious. I know my son Nikki, my love where you doing where you do. You make them stick with general secretary from people, my people are going to go do work. So, 100% support, you know that there. Alright?
Thank you, Hugh. Thank you. And thank you for being such a warrior for the party in
Yeah,
communication.
every time I pass it.
And the team on the fight, and you've been at the forefront, not back down. And what we're seeing now in social media, even over Twitter, is really and truly your hard work, all of you, and yours plural. The work you've been doing to really change perception about the party in digital media, and we take our hats off to you every day, every single day, because we could not do the work we're doing in communications without you. Big up yourself, you, and all the warriors for the PNP.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sir Hugh.
Yeah, bless up.
All right, we have Mr. Reliable. I come into all of you one at a time. All right, you can release yourself. Mr. Reliable, you're up.
Yeah, good night, Kamla.
Good night, my dear.
Yeah, good night, Nekeisha. Good night, pretty girl. The girl in the PNP is causing a storm in the GLP. The cancer run up and down like black cancer bite him. Yeah, but glad for the work where you do. You see what you make Andrew do? Move to I'm great is in good lieutenant, The Oma man and the little shark neck one there. But him call himself Rocky G String.
Rocky G String. You remember that name? I was telling them about it last night, Rocky G String. They didn't believe me when I told them, So he said he used to call himself.
He said music, but he put the drunk and Porsche head on the drunk crow.
Yes, he seemed to put Porsche head on the drunk crow. Yes.
Well, Nikki, I'm glad for the work where you put in so far for the party in your constituency. Put Oma Davis on him foot, but no matter what them do, them still can't go win, because a clean sweep where I come with, We're not going to use not no normal boom, it's a push boom we're going to use and push them out.
Push them out, that is right.
Push them out.
Yeah, it's a push boom we're going to use and push them out. And this thing with Darrell Vaz, where I'm getting information from, I don't want the comrade leader and nobody ease up where it is concerned. He has done it to Dr. Shane Alexis.
That is right.
Yes.
And we can't make it happen again. And the same thing did happen with the traffic guru incident with Bruce Golding.
Yes.
When he gets sensitive information from the lady in BNS, and after she left, he gave her a position at UDC as general, I think it's general manager.
Yes.
And she didn't last long in the job. After 3 months, she had breast cancer and died.
Yes.
Right?
We had that discussion today, Mr. Reliable.
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking about it on the phone.
So right now, there's no time for ease up on them right now, because, and as you say earlier in the interview, a drowning man clutch at a straw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Andrew have no straw clutch at a bubbles in my clutch at so every time he touch a bubbles, it busts.
Oh my.
Right? So we're going to continue to keep the fight to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you.
Carry the fight to them and in social media in a diplomatic way, without violence, but we have to teach the younger ones what the PNP stand for. We have to educate the masses, the younger masses, and let them know the core values, what the People's National Party is for and what we stand for. For democracy, we stand for truth and equal rights.
Indeed.
That's what we stand for.
That's our anthem. Yeah.
So We have to make the
Glenn a
young.
warrior, man. Glenn is one of the warrior them.
Pick up yourself. Pick up yourself.
One of the secret one, them.
We can't do it without you, and you're fighting on the front lines. You are the true heroes of this movement.
All right, Glenn, thanks.
By listening to you on your background, listening to you when you're watching a show on Netflix, I know I can't tell you how the show finish, and I can't tell you anything about the show. Now for you watch it. But anyway, Nikki, big up yourself.
Pick up yourself, Glenn. We'll talk.
All right, Kamla. Yes,
All right,
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
You have a whole heap of people in the box waiting on you, you know. All right, I know that Granville was there.
I'm going to watch this movie.
I'm coming in now. Your turn now, Mr. Granville.
Blessings and love.
Blessings.
And love.
The right mango. You haven't called me comrade, you know.
Nah, I hear you clearly.
You know, you haven't called me comrade from me more. Me like when you call me comrade, you know, give me my title. So say it now.
Your mic is low. You can turn up your mic. Probably you're wearing a headset.
You hearing me better now?
A little bit.
No, I like when you call me comrade. So address me Comrade Morgan, Granville Morgan.
Okay, comrade.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am here just sipping on one of my favorite glass of wine, and
nice.
Listening and just admiring the women, the strong women of the PNP party. I'm celebrating you ladies tonight. The right mango, we constantly celebrate you, but the queen of information know that I'm going to be. This is going to be your new title, the queen
of information. You hear that, Nikki?
Not misinformation, you know.
Information.
You understand? All right, couple of things. I want, as the general sentiment, I want a continuation of the probing into this Darrell Vaz thing. We need to find out who is doing them leaking there, because it is dangerous, you know. They're coming on a promotion of the NIDS, where people's information should be protected. And if people's information is not going to be protected, if people can just use their powers, their political powers to get information, then we can't support this NIDS business.
We can't.
That's true.
We can't support this. And this is the angle to which we should be talking to the people about. We can't let this go. We cannot let it go, because they're promoting all of this needs stuff, and at this point I am so angry that a politician can just call upon anybody and get private information like that.
It's crazy.
This is something that we ought not to let go. And I would be very saddened, and I'll be very saddened if this remains a 9-day wonder and we forget it after 9 days. I will be very saddened by this. And I'm hoping that we will continue on that. I have very little to say. I'm going to continue enjoying my wine and continue later.
Enjoy a glass of the wine for me to serve.
I certainly.
Comrade. Thank you.
Blessings.
I'm telling you.
Thank you for that. No, I mean, we really can't let this go, because it's not about us. It's not about Mark Woody.
Exactly.
Mark really wouldn't care, really. But it's really about any citizen who couldn't even afford to sue the government if their privacy is breached, because they can't afford the plane ride to the Privy Council in England, you know? So they are the ones we're fighting for with this, comrade. So we won't let go of it.
Indeed. Thank you, comrade Granville. Mrs. Chin, you're up.
Hi, good night.
Good night, dear.
Good night, Nekeisha. It's Althea.
The warrior from South.
Nice.
Yes. Just bigging you up, Nekeisha, and bigging up Miss Right Mango. Always
Pick
listening
up yourself,
to you,
Althea.
Right Mango. You're very, very informative. I learn a lot on your program. And Nekeisha wanted to invite her to your conference.
Of course, Nikki know I would do anything for her. All she have to do is just tell me when. Yeah, man, you know, you don't know. What date in August?
11th.
All right, I'll be here, 11th of August. Excellent.
Yes. And for the nib, Nekeisha, we can't give up because you know, I deal with the young people and the young men, young women, and a lot of them is asking me question all at work, and it's like they are fearing that something like this, they have no control. Anything can happen to them. Their identity can easily stolen. So we are very, very worried about NIB. We want to hear more. We want to know what this is all about. Why NIB? Why fingerprint? Why blood? All the works that's come with it. So don't give up, my sister. We are here behind you. We want the best for Jamaica. And right now, I think Andrew don't have a clue how to run this country. He's just letting it do what it wants to do. Crime is out of hand. School is out of hand. Everything is just mad in this country. So
Indeed.
we have to on it now, Nekeisha. We have to take it by hand because we cannot let our children grow up in this, because children is growing up now think violent is the way, our bullyism is the way. Our prime minister is a bully.
Thank you, Althea.
Althea,
Yes.
before you go, you need to. Althea is a part of our fundraising committee in the constituency and a member of our executive, our
Excellent.
constituency executive. And I know she is planning a big bingo.
Really,
And
Althea?
Althea,
Yes.
Send me the info so we can help you to promote it. Yeah, man. We'll definitely
All
help
right.
you to promote it.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Althea, thank you.
All right, Nekeisha. So we will talk after you come off the program, okay?
all right, take care.
All right. Big up everybody on your show, and as a team, let we work together to build our country
Definitely.
to be better. We
Take
are
care.
the best.
Indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Winsome Brown coming up. Go ahead, Winsome.
Good night, Right Mango. Good night, Nekeisha, my MP in waiting. I'm from the Ketedupa division.
Your people them come out tonight, man, Nekeisha.
Which division?
We just want to know how much
What
we love
division are you
so
from, Winsome?
much. Huh?
What division are you from?
The Ketedupa division.
Katadupa.
Yeah.
Bedrock.
Ah.
Hey, covered with some. How are you?
I'm okay. Me still not get no talk off for you, you know, me just give you time. But me just want to know, so we love you so much.
Love
Excellent.
you.
And Right Mango, me love you long time. Me ever listen.
Thank you. Nekeisha, I have to come to your conference. I have to come to you.
Just go and big up yourself and enlighten with
Exactly.
more, because you learn we a lot.
My blessings, my dear. Thank you so much.
When you come to South, you don't know what.
Yeah, good night. Nekeisha,
I
we
came
love
down
you. We
there
love
already
you.
with
We
you,
love
you
you.
know.
We know say you don't know
Comrade
current
Small
vote
was running.
MP,
You
we have
remember?
put on a big pot around you know, you know. So
No,
we know say you don't come put on a big pot. We don't want no food.
I will be there. I'll definitely be there.
All right. Good night.
All right, Comrade Winsome. Bless up yourself.
Yeah.
All right. We have a nice.
Hello.
Oh, you have a child. Hello.
That's my grandbaby.
Nice. Hi, Gran. I have grants too, so I understand. All right, Comrade Winsome. Take care. Optimistic, you're up.
Yeah, good night, beautiful ladies.
Good night.
You know, good night. You know, it's fascinating. Politics in Jamaica. It's fascinating. And by the way, Nikki, I like
Give
your
me 1
energy.
second. I'm hearing
Again,
that, Comrade. 1 second, optimistic. I'm hearing that Comrade Julian Chang is on the live. Big up yourself, Comrade Chang. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Yes. Okay. I'm optimistic. Go ahead.
Yes, and I'm saying that I like Nekeisha's energy. It's very positive, and for a young lady, I wish you well, and I know that you will do well in that constituency. It's been a bedrock for the PNP, for Derek Kelly over the years, and I know that Homer was just holding it for you. You understand? So you will. I can feel that energy. I know you're loved. Believe me, I'm listening to you for the first time, and I can feel the energy. But as I said earlier, it's just fascinating how politics can play out in this country. I was listening to Cliff Hughes' program yesterday, and I just tuned it because I like to get information from wherever, and I heard Darrell speaking as it relates to Mark's situation. And I said to myself, whilst listening, I said, how did he come by all of this information? And in listening, he went on another station, and I was listening today on Beyond the Headlines, because I never heard that interview, but I heard Cliff's interview with him. And when I listened to him, I said, how did he come by this information? I've never heard Mark spoke about it in the public sphere. So how would he come by all of this information? And I thought then that something was wrong. Now, when I think about it, I said, in trying to bring down somebody, you have opened a can of worms.
Exactly.
And when I heard his excuse today stating that he got it from a member from the PNP belly, I said, that's just BS.
Makes no
You get what I'm saying? You have violated my privacy and a Jamaican, not because it's Mark, anybody. And so my information, my personal information, you can just access it like that because you have power to do that. It is absolutely wrong, and this must not go. You understand? Wherever he got this information from, the PNP must not let it go. Ensure where you got this information from. If you cannot bring it to the fore, then we're going to have a problem. Where you get it from? You can't come publicly, right? So, guys, I am saying, don't let this one go, because you're trying to bring down somebody. But guess what? Them say when you dig in that hole, dig two. Because you have just opened up a can of worms, right? Ensure that you guys don't let this one go. All right? This is serious.
Thank you so much.
Data protection. Have a good one.
You
all right,
too.
bye.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your positive name. And you know what you said, the fact is not that he accessed the information, but he had the temerity to actually come out and share it.
Exactly.
You know, so
precisely.
We are really in a new dispensation, and the BNP has to recognize that and stop it before it
goes further, because they'll be doing this with ordinary citizens soon.
Precisely. Precisely. All the best. Take care. All right.
George Samuels, you're up.
Good evening. Good evening, right, Mango. How are you?
Good evening.
We've been coming for a while, and I am so grateful to God to see you. Girl, since you come on TikTok, you take on a new aroma, you know. I'm telling you, you take a bigger bite and out of the mango, and it just look nice on you.
Wow. You're full of lyrics. So
I want to acknowledge my MP in waiting, Nekeisha. So I'm from the Welcome All division. We have not met yet.
This is one more of your people.
Yes, I am in Canada, but we have not yet met. But you were at my house a few weeks ago. You were at my house. I got all that information, and so
which community?
in Mafuta.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm told that you're going to be there on Thursday, correct?
I'm gonna be there on Thursday.
All right. Nice. No, I just want to say to you, my ears is on the ground, and
Apparently.
the reports that I'm getting on you is something that will make a ticket becomes accessible at the moment that Andrew said the word. All right, so that is just
Excellent.
that's just the
Excellent.
facts. Yes. Martin, if you talk to Martin and call my name, he will tell you the kind of person that I am. All right.
Excellent.
Yes. The PD 36B was mine.
You know all the
Well, you have some work to do. So
Yeah, it was mine. I give it to Michelle since I'm not there. So Michelle is kind of working it now for me in my absence.
okay.
Yes. But
one of
yes.
your workers. So you
But
have to come back home, George.
I am
Come
just
help.
saying to you, we're giving you housing scheme, all right? We're giving it back to you. Yes, we're giving it back to you. So just stay put, all right? Stay put. Yes, my
Bless
dear.
up yourself, George.
Yeah, man, bless up yourself. Listen, Camilla.
Yeah.
We have been coming a while, Camilla.
Me know.
We've been coming a while, and I am so me just please. Yeah, me
Thank you.
just please. And so me just I say less and less. This whole story with this I call it the trying to quote the game story. It not going to work. So that part of it we can leave. The part of it that must be continued to be investigated is the same part that you just make mention of. How did man from the east how all of a sudden he is in receipt of my personal information.
Exactly.
Is very important for me to know, and not just me, the entire Jamaica. And so given your portfolio, Nekeisha, I know that you will step at it, and me not even as a can of worm, me just know say you're going to open up the bag, and whatever is in it is going to have to leak out all the way down Long Hill. Take care. Love you. All right. Yes, sister. Yes.
Take
Bless
care,
up yourself.
George. Thank
Bless
you.
up yourself and take care, and we'll be in touch.
Bye-bye.
All right, then cool.
All right. We have Georgia and Brat. Okay. Georgia, you're up. I know you're waiting for a while. She's coming in. Hi, Georgia. I know you've been waiting for a while.
No.
Hi, Georgia.
Hello?
Go ahead.
You hearing me, Kamla?
Yes, we're hearing you, Georgia.
Yeah, question I wanted to ask. Since the government, believe that the prime minister is at fault with everything. He's a bully of everything. And there's no one sitting in that government cannot hold their government accountable. And question, I saw JLP people protesting against Mark Golding to resign. But when are we going to protest for Holness to resign and declare his assets? Just this country is getting out of control. And especially with the needs. Are we going to sit down and allow these people to bully us and to take people for fool? Because only the fools I see running behind this man like a duck. I don't understand what is going on. We need to educate, especially those who don't read and don't understand what is going on. That is my view. So you can take me out now.
Absolutely, Georgia. I mean, if we who understand things a little bit better or differently from others don't take the opportunity and take room to the streets and to educate them, then we're gonna, reap the windfall. And I'm not gonna sit back and not play my part in trying to shape the Jamaica that I want to be here in the next 50 or next 100 years. So taking it to the street is something I've been hoping that the people
Yes, a very effective slogan, you know.
Thank you. And when we created Time Come, we knew it was a little bit early because we knew we weren't in an election year, but we were trying to turn up the pressure on the government early so that by the time an election is due, you know, they will have no choice but to call it, and that we'd add and add and add until the pressure and turn it up. I was hoping that it would reach a fever pitch by now, that people would be ready to take to the street. You see, I'm a Sam Sharp girl, so I'm expecting revolutionary people to join us and to get out there and say, time come, really, time come, and let us take it back together. So I'm looking forward to that, Georgia, that kind of time come revolutionary army that is ready to march on the Prime Minister's office.
Indeed. Georgia, any follow-up? I had muted you because they say your background was noisy, but unmute yourself. Let me invite you to unmute. Georgia? Georgia, unmute. Haha, thank you, Mystic Intake. Thank you. All right. Yes, Georgia, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. I
We're
was
hearing
so
you.
because I was on the other phone with my
Oh,
daughter.
okay.
Yes, I was saying that talking about constitution reform, a lot of us sitting here is when we come on this TikTok, we are learning so many things. Why the Prime Minister is hiding everything from the people? He need to sit down and have meeting to discuss these things. Why hiding? Why they are hiding these things? And people out there protesting like a sitting duck, that they don't have anything to do, and they don't not that their rights is gonna take away from them. I don't understand the stupidness that is going on in this country. They are
Correct. Don't know.
protesting against Mark Golding. What Mark Golding has done to them, and saying they're tired of Mark Golding. Is that the government? They must tired of the government.
They're suffering.
Not good in suffering them.
This government is getting away with things. Declaration, thief in a lands, all kind of things is going on. And they're not holding them account. It's time for we the people to wake up. We are the people to stand up behind the opposition leader. It is time for us to make our voices heard out there. Since they can protest against Mark, well, we have to go protest against Niz and all this slackness that is going on. Too much wickedness is going on. And people voices have to be heard. We
That's
need to
right.
educate those who don't understand, because there are a lot of illiterate people out there, especially those who call resistance. They are in the group too. Okay.
Oh boy.
That is my take home now. You can't remove me from the box.
All right, my dear. No problem. Thank you. Thanks, Georgia. All right. All right, Brat, you're up. You're up, Brat.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we're hearing you, my dear.
Good night. Good night, Nekeisha. Good night. I can hear that old blood, that fighting spirit, or ancestral fighting spirit. I can hear that you have it in your bones. Yes. All right, what I would like to say is my grandmother would always say, whenever you come across a bully, the bully normally has a second and they operate in a gang. Just grab the bully. If you can't grab the bully, grab the second and make an example out of him. And I'm talking Vaz.
That
He
is
should
right.
not be allowed to get away with what he has done. So he should definitely be made an example of, because what he did, and I'm glad he did it, because I for one had my reservations about this whole needs bill. And what he has done, he has cemented my reservations even further, because I will not be partaking in the needs, and I'm going to influence as much persons as I can to not take it, because the snake has reared its ugly head and it has rattled its tail. And whenever a rattlesnake shakes its tail, it means danger. So
Exactly.
I'll definitely do my part on that. Yes.
Thank you so much, Brad. Well, it's such a shame because we do need a national database by which we, everyone can have some commonality, some common ground. But with all of this that's happening,
You can't
no
trust
conflict,
them.
no conflict.
Can't trust them. Thanks, Brat.
You're welcome. Good night.
All right. Okay, Paula's there. Hey, Paula.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Gabriela, let me
How you do?
just say, I've always wanted to say to you, so I've gotten the opportunity. Congratulations, baby girl.
Thank you.
Color me is so very proud of you. As a young black woman in this country, because I realize that we're gone in a colorism now.
Yes,
We're in
definitely.
a colorism mode. So everybody have to declare themselves. But as a young, black, beautiful woman, I am in awe and I am extremely proud of you. Keep rising. There's no apex for you. You're gone beyond the apex.
Beautiful.
So just keep your
Lovely. That's so
mind,
lovely. From
keep
another black
focus.
thank you.
Keep focus, baby girl. There is nothing but goodness coming after you. Okay?
Excellent.
You're getting the support of the people. Getting the support of the people. You're getting love. I was at conference when you came up and I was screaming like, you don't think say is a Beyonce.
Wow. Nice.
I was carrying on that bad because I am proud. I like to see the young people get involved. A young people time
Big
now.
up yourself in a Dre, Brian.
Yeah, man. And
Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
amen. And coincidentally, Kamla, I
Yes.
looked at the British Prime Minister today.
Yeah.
It is ethnicity.
I'm glad you bring
And
that
I
up.
read his bio. His
Yep.
parents came from India, right?
India. Mm-hmm.
Mother and father
Both
came.
parents.
And
Mm-hmm.
they came to Britain. He's a British by
By
birth.
birth. Mm-hmm.
In Southampton. I read the man bio. And I'm like, so how the British people never have this? Because he served under Tony Blair, right?
Yes. He was the exchequer. That's what you call it, Nikki. He was the mm-hmm.
Yes. That's a prime example of what is happening here. A prime example of what is happening here. That this man, this Indian immigrant, son of Indian immigrant, came to England. They had him and he's British, but Britain claim him now.
Thank you.
Britain claim him now.
And both his parents are Indians.
Exactly.
Both.
Exactly. It's not like the father came to England and met the mother in England. They both migrated to England. And they have their child. And now he's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And I'm looking at this. I looked at him today and I said, Father, why am I surrounded by so much dunce labor right?
Thank you.
Father, why am I surrounded by so much dunce labor right? And it buffers my mind that them sit down in a parliament and govern me. Oh, you
bring up a very powerful point in a parlor. It's a very powerful point you're making, and I hope the comrades on the live listening, because it's a very powerful point you're making.
Exactly. If you're in an organization, you want your boss to be bright, because you try to emulate him, don't it?
That's it.
Yeah, because film goodness are going to flow off upon you too, because you say, that man, when him do that come through the, oh, the hell, you can't leave me, pardon me. Say you're Prime Minister and me can't emulate you. In no way, none at all. And you want to come lead me? No. A Marky British, we say.
Marky British, one Marky British, one Marky. You swear me to tell you today? Yeah.
Marky British.
Thank you. All right, one more person. Thank you, Paula. Thank you. One more. We're going to take the last one now so that we can release Comrade Nekeisha. All right, Monica, you are the last person. Okay. Somebody's phone is. No, she called me on the wrong phone. All right. All right, Monica. Monica. Go ahead, Monica.
Market Beatrice, she said, Market Beatrice. Can't wait to see him win. Hey.
That is it.
Yeah.
That is it, Monica.
Go ahead, Monica. We're hearing you.
Cut off, me not get.
No, man, we're hearing you. We're hearing you, Monica. She just put herself on hold. But Monica is going to be the last person. Hopefully she comes back in because we need to release Comrade Nekeisha. She's been here with us now for almost 2 hours. I would know such a most tired and hungry now. Yeah, so.
It was a great chat, though.
Yes, it was.
I really just think the comrades who are on the call are the greatest of patriots in Jamaica. They are putting in the hours. And I know for a fact that the kind of warriors they are, they're influencing others around them. And this is how change comes about. And I expect that when we put in the effort, God will crown us at the end of the journey. So don't give up yet, comrades. It's getting dark, but the light is just up the road.
Right around the corner.
From deep south. But when we say just up the road, we really mean it. It's just up the road. We're gonna break down soon. Thank you so much for having me on, Kamla.
You're so welcome, my dear. So welcome, more. So welcome. We've been good. These people don't understand how long we've been good friends, but they will learn. Thank you so much for joining me. So, yeah, man, take care. Take care. All the best. All right, take care. Okay. All right, so that was our Comrade Deputy General Secretary Nekeisha Burchell, who is also the spokesperson on information and the MP candidate for South St. James. I hope you enjoyed that interview, comrades. It was a very, very good interview.